So we finally have some more news revolving around Jrue Holiday and DeMar Derozan with the Miami Heat. If you guys are Miami Heat fans, watching this video, I'm guessing you guys are probably going to be pretty excited because the thought of getting Jrue Holiday to the Miami Heat, I think would be a very, very cool thing. And it does look like, yes, they will be interested in getting Jrue Holiday. They still want to remain keep salary cap for 2021 to, sign Giannis. So, we've known that for quite a, long time now, but it says Heat plan to trade for Jrue Holiday soon and sign Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021. This is reported by Barry Jackson, and then there's some more news as well saying Spurs view the Miami Heat as a trade partner if they decide to make a deal revolving around DeMar Derozan. Also being reported by Barry Jackson. Now, we've known that DeMar Derozan news for quite a long time now, but it seems to be it's still going to be a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they did try and still get DeMar Derozan, and just keep him for a couple of years or so until, Giannis comes into it as a free agent. Then they can go and try and get Giannis, and then who knows, potentially they might want to try and keep DeMar by then as well. But yeah, if they did trade for DeMar, I'm guessing they would be wanting to sign him on a shorter deal, and I think DeMar would accept that just based on the fact that he could have a potential of playing with Jrue Holiday, Jimmy Butler, and Giannis if, he would to take a pay cut when his contract does, end up not being a thing anymore. And also just the fact that I think Jrue Holiday's contract would end pretty much in a similar time to Giannis being a free agent as well. So they'd have DeMar and Jrue as free agents. I'm guessing both would be willing to take a pay cut to play with Giannis and potentially Jimmy Butler by that time. And who knows, DeMar and Jrue Holiday may not even be as good as they are right now by that time. So, I personally think that Jrue Holiday would literally be the perfect fit for the Miami Heat. I think if there's a very good player in the NBA that the Miami Heat should look for, it is potentially Jrue Holiday, because I just think Jrue Holiday, he makes sense. His defensive game works in with Eric Spoelstra's I'd say, system, how it all comes together. I think he would be the third/second star on this team. I think he would be the second star over Bam, but again, Bam I think would just be, I think that you couldn't even say he'd be like the third star of the team. I think him and Jrue would be both the second stars of the team. I don't really know. I just think they're both pretty much equal, and both are pretty decent players. Obviously, they are very good in different ways, very different positions, obviously, and I think that would be an interesting big three to potentially see on the court. Bam Adebayo, Jrue Holiday, and Jimmy Butler. And if they obviously get DeMar Derozan, that would literally be a big four, and possibly the only big four in the NBA that we would be able to see this year. So again, they would most likely become the championship contender. And again, you could say, I guess Philadelphia have a big four, but again, Al Horford's not exactly playing that great this season. Joel Embiid's always injured, and Ben Simmons has been, I don't know, he's had a very interesting season so far. So I don't really know. Those two teams are probably the teams with the big fours, I guess. Again, I think what the trade would most likely be is I think Miami would want to clear up cap. So I think they would like to move Dion Waiters and James Johnson, just based on the fact that I think that the New Orleans Pelicans would also like to trade for those two players because they are two bad contracts, and I think they may be able to get a couple picks out of them if they do decide to take those bad contracts on. And again, I don't think the Pelicans should be really trying to contend for a year or so, but we still haven't seen what's going to really happen with Zion when he does come back. But after this season, let's just say Zion does come back and does very good. I do expect Portland and Golden State to make a bounce back. So those are two other teams that I feel like that New Orleans is going to have to compete to try and get in the playoffs with as well. And Memphis will keep improving. OKC, they've got a couple of young assets here and there, and will have more picks. And I think they may drop off a little bit, but will always be around that contention spot. Again, the trade that I think would most likely go down for Jrue Holiday would be something on the lines of potentially Dion Waiters, James Johnson, and Justice Winslow, I think would most likely be in the trade. I feel like the New Orleans Pelicans will definitely look at trying to get Justice Winslow. I just have a feeling that that's a player they would really want. And yeah, so I think trade targets for them would be Justice Winslow, Miami's 2020 pick, and potentially Miami's 22 pick. And I feel like Miami's interest would potentially be Jrue Holiday and Lonzo Ball. As I feel like Lonzo Ball, yes, there have been a lot of fake rumors with him in Miami recently, because yeah, I'm probably going to make a separate video on that, because yeah, there's no really actual proper rumors to say that this is 100% true. But again, I guess we don't really know at this time. It would be I think, a very good fit if they did trade for Lonzo Ball. I think he would fit in with Miami's game plan actually decently, and and their system. So, yeah, and the fact that, New Orleans look to be shipping Lonzo around right now, I wouldn't exactly think it'd be the worst idea for them to try and potentially get Lonzo Ball as well. But who knows? We could be, looking at a trade of an actual big trade like Jrue Holiday and Lonzo Ball for potentially Dion Waiters, Justice Winslow, James Johnson, 2020 first round and 2022 first round pick. That could be the biggest trade I could see, or there could be the smaller trade of, potentially Justice Winslow and maybe James Johnson and 2020 first maybe for Jrue Holiday. That's a smaller trade I could potentially see, but yeah, I do think it would be pretty interesting for the Miami Heat to look at Lonzo Ball as well. Now, the next trade that I'm going to be talking about is the DeMar Derozan trade. What could the Miami Heat potentially, get, or what could the Spurs get for Dion Waiters, rather? I think it's going to be a very, very similar, trade. I think it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs are going to want one of those bad contracts, most likely, to try and get an extra pick out of it. They're going to want a first-round pick, most likely, or they're going to want Justice Winslow, because, again, Justice Winslow, it does look like is on the trade market at the moment, so I could potentially see them go after Justice Winslow, and yeah, there's not really too many other players I could potentially see them going after. I think, let's just say, okay, maybe the James Johnson is in the Jrue Holiday trade, and maybe that 2020 first. Alright, now let's look at DeMar's trade, and we'll put in, I guess, Dion Waiters and the 2022 first. And maybe another player. I feel like they're going to have to chuck another player in because, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that, that 2022 first, by the time it does get to 2022, Miami expected to be a very good team. So I don't think the Spurs are necessarily just going to want, like, pick 30 and, a bad contract for DeMar Derozan. I feel like they're going to want more. So maybe a player they could potentially ask or inquire about is Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. is only 22 years old, 8.7 points per game, 4.3 rebounds. He keeps improving, obviously, on 24.3 minutes. Not exactly the best from three, but I think he's just a decent player in my opinion, and I think that he can potentially keep developing. He's got an okay defensive game. He's a decent scorer, obviously a very good dunker. I think if he improved his three-point percentage, then yeah, he could be a player worth potentially looking at. And again, there's not really exactly too many other players that I think the Spurs could potentially get. There's so many untouchables that the Miami Heat have. Like, I mean, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, they're all untouchables. I think Goran Dragic is probably not an untouchable, but I feel like the Miami Heat would be interested in keeping him. Duncan Robinson could be a player that the Spurs potentially look to try and get. He's started 36 games this year out of 41. Incredible numbers, 27.8 minutes per game on 11.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 42.8% from three. Considering last season he only played 10.7 points per game and averaged 28.6 from three. So again, he is a very big improved player. He is a very good player to have in really any system just because he can shoot threes. So, and most systems have a lot of three-point shooting in today's NBA. So again, I think that if, the Spurs could try and ask about Duncan Robinson, but I feel like he could be another untouchable that the Miami Heat do potentially have. But anyway, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and comment in the comment section down below what are your thoughts and opinions on the Miami Heat being interested in Jrue Holiday and DeMar DeRozan? Do you guys think they'll get at least one of them, or do you guys think they'll be able to get both of them? And how do you guys think it's going to work if they get both of them? How are they going to have enough cap to potentially sign Giannis in 2021? I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on it all down below. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channels. Links for them in the description down below. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.